Will you please welcome to the stage, Ann Connor?
Hi there. I'm from Texas. I come in peace. I'm here to tell you a little bit about gene editing. So we'll start with a little story. A couple of years ago, there was a graduate student at Harvard who tweaked the genes of a chick embryo using this thing called CRISPR. So he cut out the newfangled genes that caused the chicken to evolve a beak. And when the chick hatched, it had what its ancestors had had, which was a dinosaur snout. So I figure it's just a short amount of time before we figure out the genes for what turned hands into wings and take that out, and maybe, feathers, scales, and you could have a little flock of dinosaurs running around your garden. I don't know what the eggs would taste like, but maybe there's a gene for that. So what is this CRISPR thing that he used to edit the genes? Well, it's a good thing there is a palindrome for it because, well, actually, what do you call that? An acronym, yes. It's a good thing there's an acronym for it. Jet lag, people, it's ugly. Because it stands for Clustered Regularly Interspaced Short Palindromic Repeats. So good thing that there's that acronym. But all you need to know is that it means messing around with genes. So humans did not invent CRISPR, bacteria did. And they developed it as a defense system against viruses, and they used those short palindromic repeats as little picture frames. So they take a mugshot of viruses they've seen before, and they say, "Ha, I've seen you before, off with your head." So that helps keep them safe. More jet lag. Okay, so the really important thing that you need to know about CRISPR is that it works as a very accurate form of molecular scissors. So you can program CRISPR to go in and cut out any gene in a genome, and it can even bring along another gene to swap in its place. And this is especially impressive when you consider that in the human genome, not that we should really be messing around with human genomes at this point with CRISPR, but when you consider that there are 3 billion base pairs in the human genome, that's like a 1 in 3 billion chance that they would get to the right place to find that gene. So this is a pretty amazing technology. So you'd think this was very expensive, but actually no. You can, in fact, buy a do-it-yourself CRISPR kit on Amazon.com for 145 euros. You can also buy custom-made base pairs for 35 cents a base pair, so you can build your own genes to swap in there. So very affordable for the DIY crowd. There are some very exciting possibilities for CRISPR. I'm really excited about this. I work in the population health space in my day job. So I'm very interested in insect-borne illnesses. And one thing that's going on right now I find very interesting is a scientist at MIT is working on a way to make mice immune to Lyme disease. Lyme is a very ugly disease borne by ticks. And ticks go around and bite humans and deer and dogs and give them Lyme disease. But what you may not know is that the ticks originally get the Lyme disease from mice. So this guy at MIT is trying to make mice immune to Lyme, and then he wants to set them free in the wild so that they'll breed and there will be less Lyme carrying. So that sounds promising. Another person is trying to make mosquitoes immune to malaria. And that also sounds good, but let's just also remember that DNA is forever. You edit the genes of one animal, that's one thing, but if you then set it up so that that gene is passed down to future generations, if anything goes wrong or there are any unintended consequences, you really kind of want a kill switch or something in there. So, in fact, just a couple of weeks ago, a study came out that showed that CRISPR could potentially cause cancer in the cells that it works on. So just think, infinite generations of mutant cancer-causing mosquitoes, what could possibly go wrong? So all that to say, CRISPR is really tremendously exciting. It has a lot of potential for doing good in the world, but it's probably not ready for prime time, so I just hope that our citizen scientists out there with the DIY kits remember that and don't go crazy. So now that you know a little bit about CRISPR, I'm going to give you a little song to help you remember it. Bought a mail order CRISPR kit, 'cause I wanted to try some new things. Me and my friends at the kitchen table, and we're talking about pigs with wings. Spent hours and hours turning milkweed to flowers and some things that I'd rather not say. What would it hurt if I made a worm that was rainbow colored today? Singing like, come on CRISPR, make that cut. Snip out the gene and swap another one in. Come on, edit that gene. I'm so ready to edit some DNA. CRISPR, make that cut. Open that strand and set that sequence free. Come on, edit that gene. Come, edit that gene. I'm revising the shape of you. Edit like bacteria do. Somewhere in this primal goo, I'm revising your body. Last night you were in a test tube, and some petri dishes too. Every day we make something brand new. I'm revising your body. Oh I, oh I, oh I, oh I. I'm revising a genome. Oh I, oh I, oh I, oh I. I'm revising a genome. Oh I, oh I, oh I, oh I. I'm revising a genome.